Number 6 on the list. Blame Truth's Scary Pokemon Blue. Blame Truth is a YouTuber, and a link to the playlist of all this stuff that happened here, because I can't cover it all in 15 minutes, will be on the Jigglypuff's left eye. So let's see. What was that again? Oh yes, I remember this. So, basically, Blame Truth, when he was younger, he lent his Pokemon Blue game to his cousin. He only got it back 1 or 2 years ago, and when he started playing it again, he found a few things off from its original save file. He had few Pokemon that he didn't have before, and there were 4 Pokemon in one single box, arranged in one certain order. It was Ditto, Ekans, Arbok, and Ditto. If you take the first letter of each of these Pokemon's name, it spells out dead. So he thought that it was sending him a message that way, but he didn't realize that until much later. A few other things that he found wrong with the game. He found a white Ditto in his game. It was in his party, and it was named White Hand. Now, if you've seen number 7 of this, then you would know what White Hand is. However, why would the Ditto be called White Hand? It's not really sure. It can't really be proven that this for a fact, but it should be impossible to have a white Ditto, because shinies didn't come until 2nd gen, and even then, the shiny Ditto was blue, a light color blue. How could a Ditto be white on Pokemon Blue? That's something that really would get the blood thinking, or the brain thinking, I should say. So, he was recording all this stuff that happened to him, all his technical failures, stuff that happened to him in real life that freaked him out, such as random noises in the night when he was sleeping, things falling, things that were the color blue, and anything that had a technical problem, that was also blue. Eventually, his Pokemon Blue cartridge crashed, and he couldn't use it anymore. So, he had to upload his Blue game onto a ROM and play it using an emulator, recording what it went on. Now, I really don't buy it too much at this point in the story, but when it reaches this next part, it seems a little bit more believable. He records using the emulator, showing us the stats of the White Ditto. The original trainer spot is blank. As far as I know, it should be impossible to hack that. Make it so that it can't show the original trainer. Now, unless you put your name as entirely spaces, that could work, but his trainer card appeared on his menu when he was going to his Pokemon. So, that really can't be proven to be true or not, but that shouldn't be possible. Later on, he records more, starting off with the fighting dojo in Pokemon, or in Saffron City. He beats the master, and a text box appears, reading, "Ha ha ha, I guess not. That white hand on your shoulder, it's not real, isn't it?" So, this alludes back to White Hand from number 7. And that's also the text that was used by that person in front of Lavender Tower that I talked of last time as well. Also, speaking of, but this is gonna get weird. As soon as that text is finished, he is transported to a pitch black cave. He opens his Pokemon to look at them. He has 5 Pokemon plus White Hand. The only difference, White Hand Sprite is now the old man who would not move because he wouldn't get his coffee from Vermilion City. No, it's Viridian City, not Vermilion. Probably to do or show a dead man, because that's the closest in the game. Later on, while he keeps playing, he looks at the Pokemon, and no sprite is shown when he selects White Hand to look at his stats. There's no sprite there, and it still says that it's a Ditto. So, freaking out a little, he goes back to his regular Pokemon, goes up to a Clefairy, uses Flash. The screen is entirely white. Eventually, a picture of Professor Oak appears, and a sound not like anything in any game, high-pitched and whinish, appears. It shows Professor Oak, and that sound continues. For a good while, he just stares at it, but eventually he clicks A he resets it, but the professor started to talk. He thinks that it might have been a message, but he doesn't know for sure. He restarts it, and for some reason, another sound, like this time a soundtrack, is playing. One that can't be found in the game. He gets a little more freaked out at this, so he resets it again, and everything is normal. Later on, when he does stuff again, he goes and looks around Pokemon Tower. I think that's how it is. Later on, while recording, he goes back to Lavender Tower. He approaches the stairs to go to the 2nd floor, and for a really brief moment, you can see the old man sprite that White Hand had turned into in Capture 1. He keeps ascending up until the 5th floor, where the Purity Zone is. He enters it, and for a brief moment, right before he does, White Hand appears again. Once more, music not in the game plays, and his controls are all messed up. He's always facing away from you, and no matter which direction you go, if you go towards yourself, it's like he's walking backwards. It's like he crab walks if he's moving left or right. Eventually, though, he gets back controls and talks to one of the priestesses there. He talks to her 5 times. The game goes to Professor Oak once more. Like at the beginning, that is. He resets immediately, almost immediately, and everything is normal. Chapter 3. He flies around for a bit and doesn't find anyone in the game. Not a single NPC. My computer is dumb and won't let me watch past that point on Chapter 3, so I can't tell what exactly happens after that. In the live recordings that he did, he found that his cousin had brought it to an abandoned hospital for veterans. They brought one of those terracotta boards or whatever they're called to commune with the spirits. The message really couldn't be heard in the recording, but he believes that one of the ghosts still living there had attached itself to his Pokemon Blue cartridge and was messing with everything blue in his house, even his technical stuff. He went to do research over in DC but he couldn't really find anything out. Eventually he came back, and there was an email on his desktop. Or he had an email, I should say, from an unknown person. The email explained that their grandpa was a fighter pilot and was in that very hospital where Blame Truth's cousin went. She explained stuff concerning what had been going on, so he took it as truth. Eventually, though, stuff went on, and he found something out. The first letter in each of the paragraphs, and the first letter in the subject line, all together read, "All lies." He took this as a paranormal event and started up Blame Truth Project, where it was meant to do paranormal stuff. However, stuff got out of hand, but that's where the creepypasta ends. Now, I do say it doesn't really count as a creepypasta because it is revealed that it was just some people messing with him. You'll have to check out Blame Truth Project if you want to know more than that, but it's people messing with him, and these people are not good people that mess with him. These people shouldn't be messed with, at least from what I can tell. I can't tell if this is real or not, but it has a certain air of reality to it. But the creepypasta here is definitely not real. I just rank it number 6 because it is very, very creepy, even though it is very, very fake. So yeah, that's it for number 6. There's nothing really else to it. So let's go to number 5. Annotation on the right eyeball this time.